Hey, Dr. Film here, and yes, I'm qualified to have that name.
So?
Before we begin, you should know that this review will contain no spoilers. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe for reviews, trailer reactions, and more. And so, without further ado, let's get started.
Shall we?
What the hell is that?
Now, I thought the supporting cast did a good job with their roles, and you certainly gotta give them props for their comedic timing. As for Josh, played by Jack Quaid, he was certainly a character that you're not going to forget anytime soon. Without revealing any spoilers, all I can say is that this guy has proven yet again that he can play a very despicable antagonist. I mean, hey, you thought this character was evil? Wait until you meet this piece of work when you go watch this film.
No thanks.
And now, let's address the elephant in the room. Iris, played by the great Sophie Thatcher. Ladies and gentlemen, this actress has done it again. Only this time, she's playing a companion robot who becomes self-aware and finds herself in a grisly situation. She played this character to perfection. You will find yourselves fully invested in her as you're watching her slowly regaining her freedom, determined to get out of this grisly situation alive. Oh, and by the way, the name Iris is actually an anagram for Siri. I know, right? Furthermore, the horror satire was surprisingly well done. The film didn't take itself too seriously, and there were no cringy moments. Although, truth be told, there were a couple of cringy moments during the film, but still, the writers did a good job making this film humorous and horrific at the same time.
I guess the key to this movie is never treating it like it's a horror or a comedy and treating it as like it's a relationship drama. You know what I mean? It's a relationship drama with 20% horror and 20% comedy, I'll say that. So, okay. so 60% relationship drama, 20% horror, 20% comedy.
Now let's take a look at the story. Now, I have to admit, the story is not exactly original, especially when you consider the fact that we've seen this similar setup before in other movies and format. A prime example would be the popular video game, Detroit Become Human. Yeah, it's no secret that this film is obviously taking inspiration from the video game, but despite that, what makes the story unique in its own way is that all of this is taking place in the perspective of Iris. I mean, sure, some of you could argue that we've already seen this setup before, especially the scene where Kara comes to life for the first time in Detroit Become Human, but honestly, that particular part was over and done pretty quickly. But in this film, it takes its time to establish how appalling it must be for her to not only discover the truth, but to actually realize what she was made for. It was sad and freaking hard-hitting, and I mean that in a very good way.
Absolutely.
Overall, my friends, this movie is definitely gonna be on my list by the end of 2025. Just when I thought this movie was going to be okay when going into this, I was dead seriously wrong. This movie surprised me with its clever dark humor, hard-hitting performances, and the creativity behind the story. So for those who haven't seen this film yet, I highly recommend checking it out. Only if you're 18 years or older. Please, don't get me in trouble. Otherwise I'll be forced to do something silly like this. How many nominations did this film get? Ay, Dios mío! With all that said, I give Companion a 9 out of 10.
Are you breaking up with me?
It's not you. It's me.
Man, that line is such a cliche. I wonder who else has said it before.
It's not even you, it's me. I am who I am, and nobody's gonna change that.
You can say that again, buddy.